Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Ryan, many congratulations. A solid start to your campaign today. How would you reflect on that performance?
Well, I thought it was really steady, solid, something to build on. I thought I started the first set really well, something that I haven't done in the past year. I've always struggled early on and got better as the match went on. It was different this time. So maybe the work I've been doing in the practice room is better than what I have done previously. So there's a lot of positives to build on from that.
This tournament is where you really made your mark in the PDC, reaching the quarterfinals on debut. Is it always a special feeling to come back here to Ali Pali? Yeah,
it's a lovely place. Obviously, you look at all the nostalgia around the building and all the fantastic darts that have been played here over the years. It's just a privilege to play on that stage, and the crowd's always the wildest here than it is anyway. I think it's a special atmosphere.
And you come into the event in great form. Have you ever felt more comfortable on the big stage than you are right now?
Well, I don't agree with that. I don't think I have come into the event in good form. I think I've had some good runs in recent majors, but I felt like I have not played well in those games. I think I've been lucky to get through some of the games. I've had a good run of luck. Winning always gives you confidence, but when you come up against the top players, you have to feel as though you can compete. And just recently, I haven't had that confidence in my own ability. I'm really trying hard to try and change the way I think about things mentally. I'm trying to be a lot more positive in my outlook, and I've got a lot of positives to build on from that match. And I think I'm going to do a lot better as the tournament progresses.
And you mentioned the positives there. You've got Danny Noppert in round 2. You've got a really good record against Danny. How much belief does that give you going into that game?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge to play somebody that got such a good record against. Makes it so much difference. It really does. I've got a similar record against the likes of Damon Hatter and people like that. Whenever I play him, I don't know, the darts just seem to go where I'm throwing them. It's a great feeling, and hopefully that'll continue in the next match. Thank you.
Ryan, you've always been quite open that you're a slow starter in matches, but this is a long format tournament. Do you think this tournament plays into your hands? We've seen you do damage on that stage before.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought of it like that. I honestly try and throw one dart at a time through each match, whether it's a short game or a long game. I don't really think about the length of the game so much. Maybe I should start thinking more positively and say, yeah, this tournament does suit the way I think and the way I play, and maybe it does.
You spoke about on stage there, on Sky, about the work that Glen Durrant's been doing with you. Could you just talk a little bit more about what he's been doing? Is it just the mental side of the game, or is it actually on the technique as well?
Yeah, well, I think, he wanted to focus more on the mental side of the game. Obviously, I'm already a player that's really close to the top 32. There's not so much work you can do technically with that, but obviously his experience and the tournaments that he's won, he feels that he can maybe add 1 or 2% of my game, and that can make a huge difference. I'm open to trying anything like that, and Glen's he's a really clever bloke. The couple of sessions I've had with him and talking to him, I think it's give us something different to try. Something different to try and practice and things like that, and it gives you a little bit more to think about and a little bit more desire to practice, because you've got new things to try, and I think it's going to help in the long run. We'll have to see how it goes over the next season.
Where do you believe your game can get to? Because, I mean, we've been around for a long time in these press rooms, and he's always talked about you, about how dangerous you can be and the ability you have, even on comms. He believes that you can really, really go far. Do you share that same confidence?
Yeah, I do think I've got a lot more to give to the game and a lot more progression in me. It's just unlocking it and doing it consistently, and that's the key word. I've beat all the top players on the day, and then the next game I play bad and lose to somebody that's maybe I should be beating, and that's been the story of my career so far over the last 7 years. So hopefully that's it. I'm going to try and add consistency to my game and try and find that top. I've got the same top gear as the top players. I just don't find it as consistently as what they do. That's the only difference, and that's what I'm going to try and unlock. And I'm trying everything I can. Like I say, I've reached out to Glen Durrant, to see if I can just add something, you know, and try. There's nothing wrong with trying different things.
Just looking ahead to this tournament and next year, are you the sort of person that likes to set goals, or do you just take each week and each game by it comes?
Yeah, exactly that. I take each dart as it comes, not each game. I just try and just throw one dart at a time and see what happens. But maybe it's time to change that, because that hasn't worked for 7 years. I don't think I've reached my potential at all. So maybe it's time to change things like that. And I'm going to speak to everybody about it and see, you know, get a lot of different opinions from players that I admire and players that have done better than me, and see if I can change something and see what help I can get. Thank you.
Hey Ryan, we've heard a little bit that maybe you've been trying some changes with your setup, specifically around the points and the stems.
Yeah.
First thing, I heard you were trying the caliber and point system. How are you finding that kind of adjustment with those?
Yeah, well, about 8 millimeters longer than the points I used for throughout my career up to now. I don't know. I'm just trying something different. I'm trying to. It's usually the scoring phase of the game where the gap emerges between the top players and myself. You know, the scoring power. For some reason, I hit a lot of darts low of the treble 20, maybe even an inch or two low sometimes, and it happened again today on the stage. It's just trying to figure out why it happens, what's happening technically, and I'm just trying to change it. Maybe more grip on the darts. But I'm honestly trying everything to try and change it, to try and get better. It's just going to be a long process. It's going to take time, but I've got a positive mindset now going forward that these changes are good and are going to pay dividends in the long run.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
I'll take you back down here.
Okay.